Good morning, good people. Welcome back to A Moment on Mondays with your girl, your sister. I'm your friend and personal growth coach, Stephanie R. Strong. And this morning, I'd like to speak to you about managing emotions. Well, emotions are pretty primitive in nature. And what I mean by that is they have been with us from the early onset of development. Emotions are typically not experienced in the conscious mind, but rather from experience and memory. And it is sort of rooted or stems from that part of our brain called the limbic system that controls mood and responses and nerves. So with that being said, we a lot of times experience emotions based on some previous experience where we had a particular emotional expression. And so when something triggers that or reminds us of that experience, just by nature of the subconscious being on repeat, we may experience that emotion again, just out of memory and experience. But what happens when we have emotional outbursts that are not warranted? I laugh because it's just very common for human beings to have emotional outbursts. And so we want to make sure that we are managing our emotions because we are becoming positive, productive, passionate, purposeful people on purpose. So we want to make sure that we are managing our emotions and that we're not having sudden outbursts of emotions that are not necessarily founded or necessary or warranted in our current situation. So what I'd like for you to do for this week, your assignment for this week is to pay attention to your emotional responses. And I want you to ask yourself, I love giving you this assignment about asking yourself questions because it's not for you to judge anybody else, but really to take a look at yourself. And we all are in this thing together. So I have to do the same thing. So when I have an emotional expression to something, I don't want to necessarily tie it to that current experience, but I want to look back and see now, why am I feeling this way? Why am I having this type of emotion? And when was the first time I experienced that? How can I link it to a past experience so that I can better manage myself in my current experience so that I am not just all over the place with my emotions. And I want to challenge you to do the very same thing. So when you are feeling a certain kind of way, or as they say, all up in your emotions, why are you all up in your emotions? Ask yourself hard questions. Why am I feeling this way? And let me think back. Let me reflect back on the first time I may have experienced this, and let me see how I can connect it to a particular experience so that I can, number one, get the healing that I need that's necessary. Number two, so that I can create a new memory in my brain or in my subconscious so that even when something disfavorable or unfavorable occurs or some sort of adversity, that I'm actually reasoning it out as opposed to just being caught up in the emotion of it. Even babies, they express emotions, but they don't have the power to reason. But you and I, we have the power to reason. So here are a couple of things, or maybe several things that you can do so that you can better manage your emotions. Number one, pause out. Pause out just for a moment and ask yourself is this really founded on what's occurring right now? Is it warranted? And then breathe. Breathing is my answer to a lot of things. Pause out, just relax, calm down, and don't be reactive. Number two, exercise is always a good way to sort of channel especially negative emotions into a positive way. So think about exercising. Meditation is an amazing outlet to put those emotions in alignment to where you really truly want to be. Now, if you are wanting to be mad and you choose to be mad, well, then that's a choice that you have to make, but it really serves no good purpose. So it's one thing to be mad and angry, but then to come up with a solution so that you won't stay in that state. And see, this is what personal personal growth and development is really all about is really becoming your best possible self on purpose. So I want you to think about that. Another way that you can manage your emotions is simply by neutralizing it, by capitalizing on your strengths. We all have a lot of great things going for us. So if you put your focus on the things that you really truly have going good for yourself, you can neutralize the negative emotions right in that instance and experience a shift so that you can be in a better headspace, so that you can be in a better heart space, so that you can be good to yourself and so that you can be good to those who you are around. Well, very simple message today. That's all that I have for you on this glorious Monday morning. Make sure you come and check me out at presencewithpurpose.net. I am just loving all the feedback, your comments, your shares. Thank you so much. Well, I look forward to seeing you on next Monday. But until then, make this your best day.